Tonight, the downpour continues across Cairns.
A man and his dog mauled on Wonga Beach.
The stork that staked his claim on a Cape homestead.
And the Taipan's new recruit.
Across Cairns and far north Queensland, this is 7 News with Brough and Joanne Desmond.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good evening.
Well, the Gillies Range has finally reopened after 3 days of heavy rainfall eased slightly across our region. Some flooded properties still remain cut off, but the Weather Bureau says the worst is now behind us.
The beautiful Barron Falls is back to its raging best.
It's absolutely incredible to be standing here and listening to the power of that waterfall.
Its fierceness an indicator that 3 days in, this wet weather has packed quite the punch.
It was great. Yeah, nah. I only just come into town a couple of days ago and it hasn't stopped raining.
Overnight, the deluge dragged on. 286 millimetres recorded at Mount Sophia, 235 in Babinda as the boulders broke the banks, and 204 in Cairns, bringing the area's 3-day total to more than 550 millimetres of rain.
Well, it looks like Mother Nature's not leaving us alone. They're giving us the last blast.
The blast was too much for Cairns Wake Park. It was closed today as the flooded dam spilled out and these beach chairs became a floating water feature.
Well, it's only rain, praise the Lord.
But it was a miracle this driver wasn't injured after his car ended up on its side at Holloway's Beach. Other road hazards have become cause for concern, and so have motorists driving through floodwater, forcing council to close Dunn Road in Yorkeys Knob.
We're urging people to drive to the conditions.
But this Goldsborough family couldn't even leave their driveway. Floodwater cut access to the property, leaving them boxed in. The SES have now responded to 55 calls for help since Sunday.
They've ranged from assisting people with flooding in their property or flooding that's likely to get into their property, and also leaking roofs.
The Weather Bureau says the wet will stick around until Monday. However, daily rainfall totals should drop to around 50 millimetres, with a warning some areas may see up to 200 if a storm rolls in.
Fantastic. Yeah, love it for the wet.
Jordan Quinn, 7 News.
A Cairns man has relived the terrifying moment he was set upon by 2 dogs in a vicious attack over the weekend. Stephen Cordinas was walking his own pet along Wonga Beach when the dogs brought him to the ground, and we warn some viewers may find the images confronting.
Steve Cordinas thinks the world of his little Maltese pup, Khaleesi.
Apart from my partner, she's my best friend.
But he very nearly lost her on the beach on Saturday night.
These dogs just sprinted at us.
Steve immediately grabbed his 3-year-old pet and held her above his head. But there was little he could do.
Both dogs were mauling at my elbows, trying to pull me down as though I was a wild feral pig. They succeeded. I didn't think 2 dogs would be able to get me down.
One of the dogs then ripped little Khaleesi out of Steve's arms.
I then grabbed her back and the other dog come and ripped her other arm.
Steve managed to escape and seek help for himself and his badly injured pet.
I thought that I actually lost her. I thought that she was going to pass away.
He's been left with bone fractures to his elbow and a vet bill in the thousands of dollars.
She was 1 millimetre off getting her main artery on the neck severed.
Steve wants the 2 dogs destroyed and their owners fined.
I love dogs, and these dogs attacked like I was a pig.
Douglas Shire Council says investigations are continuing into the alleged attack. The 2 dogs have been seized and are currently in the council pound.
The next time it won't be someone alive talking, it'll be someone dead.
Frank Russo, 7 News.
Our Far North Domestic Violence Support Services have held roundtable talks over a spike in demand during the pandemic. Labor Senators Nita Green and Jenny McAllister joined the discussions, urging the federal government to commit more funding for local services in next month's budget.
In the last 2 months, we've seen a more than doubling of calls. We're now taking nearly 250 calls a week from women.
Women are tired of the discrimination, of the harassment, of the assault and of the rape.
It comes after the state government rejected the funding application for Ruth's Women's Shelter in Menunda to keep it open beyond June.
Mr Ench would rather put out media releases than actually do his job and fund important services on the ground.
But the federal member for Leichhardt says State MP Michael Healy needs to stop passing the buck and deliver the funding.
The KAP is calling on the state government to cut red tape for Queensland sugarcane farmers. The party wants controversial Great Barrier Reef regulations revoked, claiming the rules are destroying the agricultural industry.
The KAP claims this is its last-ditch effort to save the sugarcane industry and the small Queensland towns that rely on it.
It's come to do or die.
Member for Hinchinbrook, Nick Demetto, introducing a bill into state parliament today to repeal the Great Barrier Reef protection regulations introduced by the government in 2019.
An assault on farming practices across Queensland and the 6 reef catchment areas.
The KAP says the laws which require farmers to reduce the amount of sediment pollution they produce are crippling productivity, citing these figures from the Burdekin region.
Their production's gone down almost 1 million tonnes, and that's from the first tranche of reef regulation.
What happens to the yields when they drop to such a level where there isn't enough sugarcane to actually keep the sugar mills running?
The party's plan has the backing of One Nation's Stephen Andrew.
I'm working with the Catters today to make sure that we preserve those industries, that we give these farmers peace of mind.
But Minister for Environment Megan Scanlon says farmers are already receiving support, telling 7 News department staff have been meeting with them regularly, including at a recent session by NQ Dry Tropics. Abby Guerin, 7 News.
Telstra has switched on its 5G network in Tully and Gordonvale. They're among the nearly 2,500 suburbs across Australia with access to the faster network. The telco says it's aiming to get 5G to 75% of Australians by the end of June.
A couple on a homestead in the Cape have welcomed an unexpected house guest who won't leave. Fred comes and goes like most teens, except he's a big black-necked stork.
He's no average housemate.
We do pinch ourselves and go, this is kind of crazy.
But Fred the Jabberoo likes to think he rules the roost.
No, Fred. He says good morning to us and todders around the place, and then he disappears during the day, and then he comes back to say hi in the afternoon and wanders in while we're getting dinner in the kitchen. And then he toddles off again at night for his roost.
Fred was found injured last August and nursed back to health before being set free at the Piccaninny Plains Wildlife Sanctuary in October. But if the couple thought they'd be empty nesters, they were wrong.
He followed me home. And that was kind of the beginning of the story of Fred and us.
And he's stalked them ever since.
Fred is so vocal. He has an incredible song that he greets us with every morning when he arrives at the house.
Now they're sort of stuck on the stalk.
We're going to be very sad when he goes, but hopefully he will stay around Piccaninny Plains and we'll be able to watch him grow up.
Matthew Carstunen, 7 News.
OK, we'll take a break, and here's another one for you. We've been asked to bury our tighty whities for a science challenge.
And a former State of Origin star walking from Cairns to the Gold Coast for charity.
I love coffee. I drink 14 cups per day.
Welcome to my new house, Carlos.
Really, this is great for a coffee.
Is there anything you wouldn't do for a coffee? Think you know my game? Think again.
We need to get that coffee.
I am Big Brother, and I'll see you Monday, 7:30.
A 350-yard bomb. And I just smashed her favourite at the next race in Melbourne.
If your horse doesn't win but runs second, third or even fourth, get your money back in bonus up to $50. PointsBet, it's shacking easy.
Bed Match at 40 Winks takes the confusion out of buying a bed. And right now, get any size mattress for the price of a single. That's a queen, king or super king mattress for the price of a single. But hurry, limited time only. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
If you love fresh, then you'll love Fresh Street Market IGA. Balzucchi extra virgin olive oil 4 litre, $20 each. Whole beef eye fillet, $19.99 a kilo. And chicken drumsticks, $2 a kilo. Fresh every day at Fresh Street Market IGA.
Welcome to a fresh new health and wellbeing destination. A destination for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island health with an Indigenous health practitioner. Cairns Doctors. Doctors with a difference. Book online or call us today.
However you want to live, turn to Toomey Schreiber Property Group. We understand it's not about real estate, it's about people. That's what makes us different. Toomey Schreiber Property Group, your elite agents.
You remember I'm picking Bex up from school, right?
The JCR's due Friday, so...
Which font should we use?
Are you going to video chat this weekend? Your dad and I'd love to see the kid.
He's in...
So can we go outside? I thought, but we could go to this place after.
Whatever your claim, big or small, we're on to it. Yui, you insured.
Thanks for joining us here on 7. A former NRL State of Origin star will be dusting off his joggers for his biggest challenge yet. Chris Walker will certainly live up to his name as he tackles a trek from Cairns to the Gold Coast for charity. His 66-day journey will raise funds for groups including Beyond Blue, Rise Up Australia and the Alcohol and Drug Foundation. It kicks off this Friday with a luncheon in Cairns before the walk gets underway on Monday. To donate, go to fundmychallenge.com.
A North Queensland professor has helped unlock more secrets about one of the planet's most vicious predators. Dr. Eric Roberts is part of a team of international scientists who've been studying the 75-million-year-old fossils.
This was once the most ferocious carnivore on the planet.
The fossil record for anything to be preserved is really 1 in a million chance for any organism.
Scientists have always thought the apex predator was solitary, but the discovery of a group of fossils in the US shows that the T-Rex might have had a posse.
Having found 5 in one spot is really that's the thing that's quite exciting.
Queensland-based Dr. Roberts was part of the international team who examined the bone bed in Utah in 2019. The prehistoric bones are more than 75 million years old. Most Tyrannosaurus relics have been found in North America and Asia, but in 2010 a Tyrannosaur bone was found here in Australia.
And this Tyrannosaur, we have very little idea of how it got here, when it got here, so there's every possibility that Tyrannosaurs actually evolved in Australia.
Another fossil of interest is known as the dueling dinosaurs, also found in the US. JCU honours student Stuart Hodson is looking at the rocks surrounding the fossil to determine its age.
I would have had the opportunity to go to Montana for fieldwork to look at my fossil site, but unfortunately COVID stopped most of those plans.
These studies are vital to understand the evolution of all species and the planet.
When we think about 75 million years ago, the configuration of the continents was completely different.
Georgia Simpson, 7 News.
Well, buried treasure comes in many forms, but not usually cotton underwear. Yet Queenslanders are being encouraged to bury their tighty-whities to test the health of our soil for a citizen science challenge.
These undies are going undercover to get the dirt on dirt.
You basically get your pants, you dig a very shallow hole, about 5 centimetres deep, in the depth of your fingers. You lay the pants flat in that, and then you just cover them back up.
8 weeks later, they're dug up. The more degraded they are, the better.
We're basically relying on the soil biology to eat our underpants.
The study run by the University of New England measures soil health.
The more diverse your community is, the more of those enzymes you potentially produce. and the more active they are, the more degradation that occurs.
Sounds a bit crazy, but yeah, wonderful tool they've come up with.
Maryborough grower Des Morris was sceptical at first, but buried his undies in a paddock used for cotton, and the result...
And it was just amazing. All was left was the elastic band of the Y fronts, the big old follow jocks.
It's not only growers here in Maryborough involved, but farmers across the Sunshine State. Undies have been buried in soil that grows everything from lychees to macadamias and blueberries. The program is now expanding into schools, and suddenly Bart Simpson's famous quote has new cred.
Eat my shorts.
All right, I'll eat.
Mel Whiteman, 7 News.
Well, there you go. There's a challenge for you. Now, Chad Townsend officially coming to North Queensland, Nate.
He is, Brough, that's right. The Sharks playmaker has signed that deal with the Cowboys. It's for 3 years beginning next season. We'll hear from Chad next as the Taipans welcome Cam Oliver's replacement ahead of the team's Tasmanian trip.
Some people will do anything to avoid alarming the police. And then there's these guys.
Is there anything in the car that shouldn't be there?
Yeah, there's a... Who will the coppers throw the book at? Highway Patrol, tonight on 7.
Let's not just say how exciting racing is, let's show it.
View a real-time live stream of incoming bets.
Like the stock market, anything interesting.
So all you have to do is jump on the app and you can watch where the money moves and get the inside word on the big bets.
Yep, so you never miss any of the action. Or just head to any individual race or sporting event and get the inside word on who the other punters are backing.
That was some fine ladroking in there. Let it go. Wipe her down, will you?
At McCafe, every 6th coffee is free when you order on the My Macca's app. Buy any 5 coffees and your next one is on us. Download the My Macca's app and start earning your free coffees today.
I needed the worry and the stress to go away. I needed someone to come in and take over my digital marketing and give us some guidance. Local Search said, yeah, we can actually help you and we can do that. They actually understood our strategy and our plan. Our business has grown at least 40%. We've got so much work coming in, we need more staff to be able to cope with the work.
At Coles, there's hundreds of prices down and counting, so you can lower the cost of your weekly shop. The price of breakfast is down, with Coles Toasted Original Style Muesli down to $3.10. Coles, value the Australian way.
It's our 25th year in local business here at VIP Furniture and Bedding. We are locally owned and offer local discounts, and right now you'll save 25 to 50% off store-wide at VIP Furniture Smithfield.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Our 2021 Grand Finalists.
Winning would be even sweeter because I get to share it with my family.
It's been just such a lovely journey.
It's all or nothing.
To win this, that would be the greatest thing ever.
Brilliant!
Don't miss the spectacular Dancing with the Stars All-Stars Grand Finale. Sunday, 7 o'clock on 7.
Welcome back to 7 News. The Cowboys today confirmed that Chad Townsend is heading north, signing the Sharks playmaker to a 3-year deal beginning next season. Townsend says the opportunity to secure his future was too good to pass up and revealed former teammate Valentine Holmes joined the recruiting pitch.
A Cronulla junior turned premiership playmaker for the Sharks, Chad Townsend is jumping the border.
We tossed and turned there for a bit, but I'm extremely happy that I've been able to secure my future and really put my family first and get some security in this game.
A 3-season deal too good for the 30-year-old to pass up. He'll see out the rest of this season with the Sharks, admitting he got emotional when telling his teammates the news.
I am, when I think about it. It was a tough decision, I love the club and, I've made a lot of good memories here and got a lot of good mates here as well.
In the end, that decision was made solely by the man himself. Townsend avoided this week's intense media speculation. Not even a text from former teammate Valentine Holmes would sway his mind.
I didn't tell anyone. I haven't told anyone. I've even had a text message from Val, which I just didn't respond to.
The Cowboys jumping for joy. They got their man in a year where wins on and off the field have been hard to come by.
It'd be good to have Chatty up here, and he's played in some big games, grand finals that I played against him in, so I wasn't real happy about that, but it'd be good to have him up here. His game management's very good.
That leaves the future of current halfback Ben Hampton up in the air, but McLean's not expecting a letdown this Saturday against the Raiders.
He's got a job to do this year, and Chatty's coming next year, so Benny's going to keep putting his best foot forwards this year, and see what happens from there.
Jesse Sweet, 7 News.
Well, from the US college system to the NBA G League and stints around Europe, and Venky Joyce is now in Cairns with the Taipans. The new recruit has endured a whirlwind return from Serbia, joining his new teammates this week as the club's answer to Cam Oliver's departure.
Taipans fans rejoice. There's a new kid in Cairns, and it's all thanks to an Instagram post about being back in the country.
And then Cairns hit me up probably like 4 days later, like, oh, are you here right now?
Venky Joyce has played around the world, fresh off a stint in Serbia's National League and 2 weeks in quarantine. Now he wants to make the most of this opportunity.
I'm happy and confident, that I can step on the floor and hopefully get my fitness back quick. And let's win some games.
But don't expect him to be the new Cam Oliver. The whole side will have to lift to cover the import's 32 minutes, 17 points and 10 boards a game this season. The versatile 27-year-old will likely play as a power forward with Nate Jarwai at centre.
This is not a replacement for Cam Oliver as much as a player who we think can come in and rebound the ball very well and fit in with the group.
He's no stranger to the NBL after a stint with Melbourne United in 2019, and he's ready to make his return.
Play defence really well. I think I can pass the ball, attack, whether it's post or perimeter. I think I can do a lot of things, and hopefully that'll translate on the court.
Pending a clearance by FIBA, he could be in action on Friday against the Breakers in Tasmania. Dane Livingston, 7 News.
Meanwhile, new Dolphins coach Myra Donkin could be the key to unlocking a WNBL team in Cairns. Junior girls' numbers are on the rise, and Cairns basketball is hoping a strong NBL 1 club will lead to the establishment of a national women's team sooner rather than later.
She's the new coach of the Cairns Dolphins with one goal in mind.
The women's game's growing, at an increasing pace. So if I can bring more Cairns locals through to the WNBL and college pathways, then I've done my job.
Myra Donkin knows what it takes, from her own college career to a stint in the WNBL.
I want to build relationships with the players to help them grow and, so they can have the same journey in basketball that I've had over the years.
She's been one of the greatest assets to Cairns basketball in the last 20 or 30 years.
The recent WNBL hub in Cairns has done wonders for the game in the far north.
We had a boost in our numbers in women's junior girls basketball after the WNBL played all those games in Cairns last year.
Now it's hoped that interest will turn into a top-class Dolphins outfit and one day a WNBL team in our own backyard.
To continue to drive our women's program till the time we have a WNBL program in Cairns, which is what our aim is.
I'd love to see a WNBL program up in this region. We're super supportive of girls basketball up here, and I think that it'd do really well.
Dane Livingston, 7 News.
I wonder if Myra can be a player coach as well. She's still landing all of her shots, loves her basketball.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
All right, stay with us after the break. Livio joins us and he'll have all the details on the weather for us.
Academy Award winners Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman.
Hope is a dangerous thing.
The Shawshank Redemption, tonight on 7.
Ever since I've retired from basketball, I've never been busier. You said bet? There's a lot you can do in a few seconds, even with just one hand. I never miss.